Well, small pill wasn't big enough. Now we're going to a bigger pill today. We'll see how this pans out. We need a little bit more to push that through the air.
Now me and the mad scientist got to rip apart the block and replace the piston rings you fried.
2 weeks later.
Why at Black Widow do we not use too much nitrous? Well, this is why. Because on a stock motor, you're inevitably going to get to this point. This happened on the dyno. This didn't go as bad as it could have. If this had happened on the street, this would definitely be an injury, a crash, a completely wrecked bike. And there would have been way more damage. The crank would be junk. The rods would be junk. Lots of things in this motor. Basically take everything below the head and just throw it out the window. There's lots of information on this piston to let us know what was going on. The ring end gap is absolutely the problem here. It's not that this shot was too big for the motor to handle. It's just this motor was basically brand new. This is a 2024. Client asked me, I had already set it on a 35 shot and he wanted to go to a bigger shot. And I explained to him the potential consequences, and we got to the real consequences very quickly. We did make some nice power poles. Some videos related to that are already up. I've started to do some modification to this piston. This piston is a used piston. We took the rings off of it, and we will gap those to what we want to see. So this sort of thing at minimum doesn't happen. This is closer to the end. We removed every sharp edge. Everything's rounded off. They call that Kellering, which makes me feel special with my last name because my last name is Keller, but that was the name long before I got into this. You know, all these sharp edges are gone. But once we have the rings gapped properly and this done to the piston, we should be able to make it through significantly more. Piston also compensating for the fact that we're running alcohol as the fuel, which is not typical on running nitrous, but I like alcohol. I like the way it burns, but it does not like hot spots in the chamber, and we got to eliminate any hot spots. We will do some other things to the head to go along with that. The Zx6r does not have much of any sharp spots in the head, which is nice. So most of it's all related to the piston that we need to do. And this is one of the best pistons that comes in any motor stock. I haven't seen much of anything that's better than this. Now, granted, I haven't had a Beamer apart and I haven't had a brand new Ducati apart, but this is about the highest compression ratio you will see in a stock application. These are about 13.5. Some Ducatis and Beamers are 14, but yeah, that is one heck of a crown up on there. You know, just the fact that the center is domed is nice in itself, but they are even trying to squish these end gases out into the middle to allow it to have the least amount of ignition timing as possible to get these things to go. You know, and here's what they look like after coming out of the blast cabinet. They're got some condensation on them from me just cleaning them off, but all ready to get coated. We'll let them dry out and get to room temperature Might spray them one more time, heat them up. Yeah, we don't want that happening. These are going to be the trick to what we need. And then we're going to get all of the rings gapped to the correct size. Just with light pressure turning that. Freaking nothing. That's how it should rotate. No binding at all. Rings and pistons all slide nice. Just effortless rotation. Should probably even put a torque wrench on here, but I'm pretty sure it's about 5 foot-pounds. It's pretty nice for a piston rings. Getting started on the nitrous head. As you can see, we splattered a lot of piston all over the cylinder head, so still a little bit of coolant leaking out. We're gonna get these valves out and get to porting. Let you guys see as many steps as the way as I can tolerate. I don't have my tripod today, so just have to deal with each one of these little parts of the video. Just a little start look at what we're doing compared to what it begins as. Okay, intake valves out. Everything looks pretty clean in there. Not a whole lot to do to these ports, but we got standard slag and things like that, and we'll check the cross-sectional area and stuff. Make sure that we get it all to what we want. Well, here's what she looks like when she's all done. Intakes are all there. Got to take out the other exhaust valves and get done with that. They'll all end up looking like that. One done, lots more to do. Shape's all done, still need to hit it with some sanding rolls. I didn't bring one of those home today. Oh well. Here she is, just after getting sprayed, about to put her in the oven. Ceramic down in the exhaust ports. It's nice and slippery. Difficult for the carbon to stick to it. Keeps the heat in it, keeps our velocity up. First start. From a crash, pretty much. Fuck. That extra fuel it was reading, it wasn't fuel. It was nitrous. It was oil. That's why it got quiet. Yeah, that's done. That's a little more than rings. A little more. Less bearings. We smoked the bearings. Yeah, he's cooked.